Morning, Nick Asen here, as I'm on my morning walk with the dogs, you can see. And let's see, they behave themselves. They don't normally, so things can get ugly quite quickly here. But I just wanted to touch on blockchain. In the previous conversation, we talked about Bitcoin, and we will talk about Ethereum shortly. But, you know, I have serious concerns about Bitcoin, its longevity as well. And who's pulling the strings. But let's talk about blockchain in particular. I mean, I have been focused on other things over the last few years, quantum and AI and things like that, and other tech. But it rekindled my interest when I went to the AIBC summit in Dubai in end of May, and I saw the community firsthand, and it was good to see them. To be honest, they were back. The blockchain community is robust despite what's going on in the world. But I have to say, and you know my views on NFTs and DeFi by now, and we'll dig into some of that. But, you know, blockchain, let's just talk about the fundamentals of blockchain. What I'm discovering is a lot of the founders that are building these applications and building on top of Ethereum and building on top of EOS and Cardano and all of these things, it's all very well, but I'm not entirely sure a lot of these founders understand how blockchain actually works. And my conversations with them are a bit alarming, really, because, you know, they seem to think that blockchain can do so many things out of the box, but it can't. I mean, all the ledger does is it records token movement. That's it. I mean, it's not. Does it in a decentralized way. Yes, you can, you know, if you've got a token that represents something, and we can talk about whether it represents real value or not, or value you give it, but let's go with it. Let's assume that it does have some intrinsic value. You know, a blockchain is literally just writing the token movement. You have the original supply, the genesis, if it's your own, you know, supply, and over the next period of time, you record the movement of these tokens as transactions potentially, but they're not, again, really transactions. It's Ethereum, for example, runs an account system where you're just moving, you know, the tokens from one account to another, and it's not a file system even. It's just an account system. So even at a basic level, you have to sort of think about what blockchain is. I mean, you have a consensus, you have mining, and the purpose and function of mining, of course, is to make sure that you have good actors in the network, a transaction is valid and structured correctly, and for them to process the token movement as a transaction, let's say, then, you know, there is an economic reward for them making the investment in the servers and competing mathematically to you know, if you like, solve the problem, create the block, validate the block, and write the block, and write the transaction to a block. So that's all blockchain is, really. And I do think that there's a lot of people putting lipstick on the pig here. You know, they're trying to make blockchain out as something that's just super incredible. And I am a big fan, I have to say, because it's the things you can do with it, with the creation of decentralized operating models. But I want to dig into a bit about what blockchain is for, what it's good for, and what it's not good for. And we'll pick that up in the next conversation. Bye for now.